My name is Darren Potter.
And what do you do, Darren?
Well, for the last 23 years, I've been serving as a pastor in full-time ministry. But for 10 years, I've been serving as a volunteer chaplain with the Roanoke City Police, giving about 40 hours a month. Well, some of the things that I do with the chaplaincy, I do ride-alongs with the officers, weekly at least, where I will travel in a patrol car with them everywhere they go and see everything they see. I do hospital visitation when there might be an officer having a surgery or maybe been injured on the job, and I meet with officers and their spouses at times to just help with some counseling. Serving with these officers all these years, I've come to see the toll that the job can take on them and their families. And I've come to learn through a critical incident stress management course here recently that first responders will be exposed to the average person's lifetime worth of traumatic events every 3 years. And that takes a toll on the officer and their families. And in more recent months, I've just had more officers and their families reach out to me than I've had even from my own congregation. And it's just made me realize there's a great need that I think I can address. I am starting SHIELD chaplaincy that will prayerfully allow me to serve full-time the officers of Roanoke City and the officers of Roanoke County Police Departments. And what I hope to do with that is to be present, just be available as a workplace chaplain, but also to provide some preventative measures to help develop strategies for the officers and their families, just to help them to survive and thrive emotionally and spiritually. Well, other than kind of the visual image that it puts in your head of creating a shield for the officers and their families, really what SHIELD is an acronym, and it stands for Serve, Heal, Inspire, Encourage, Love, and Develop. And again, part of this purpose of this ministry is to help officers and their families develop strategies just to be successful at work and at home. And that's not just in stats, but that's in how they feel about their work. That's in how strong their relationships are with their spouses, with their children, anyone else in their life. Well, you know, there's been several experiences I've had with officers through the years. And again, not mentioning any names, there's one officer who's actually no longer with the department because of some health issues that arose because of a job-related injury. He was just in a bad place, and he was in a situation where he was facing a series of surgeries and having to face this, in his mind at least, alone. And sometimes inadvertently, we kind of assume that someone has someone there with them, and we don't reach out to them as much as we probably ought to. And that's kind of the situation with this gentleman. And I was able to be there at the hospital with him, able to sit with him for several hours in his home, and really just be a listening ear and essentially be a friend. And helped him through that time, and thankfully, he's come through that. The surgeries weren't quite as successful as we would have liked, and he certainly would have liked, but he's just in a much better place now where he's able to smile again, where he's able to live again. Well, I'm certainly going to be visible, both at the Roanoke County Department and the city as well. I've learned a long time ago that people really don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so that's going to necessitate me being present. So I'm going to be available that way, and my contact information will be distributed through the departments, but I also have a website called shieldchap.org, shieldchap.org. And that's just a great place to go for officers or their spouses and families to check out. And there's certainly all kinds of contact information that they can locate there to track me down. I have certainly learned through the years that officers, just because of the nature of what they've dealt with for years, they're not the most trusting bunch. And I can assure you, if I were someone who didn't keep things confidential, officers would have stopped talking to me a long time ago. But that's not been the case. I do keep things confidential. I would want people to do that for me, and unless I have permission from the officer to talk about the situation with someone else, I don't do it. I certainly don't hide the fact that I'm a Christian minister. However, even if there's people who have lifestyles that are totally different from mine, maybe they're atheists, maybe they just are of a different religion, there's no law against love. And I'm here to listen, I'm here to serve, I'm here to love. If I can do that, that's what it's all about. Absolutely. There's two ways that people can help. One, I want to create a prayer shield. I'm calling it Team 416. And I'm calling it Team 416 because if the Roanoke County and the Roanoke City Police Departments are at full capacity, there are 416 sworn officers that serve. And so I'm looking for at least 416 people to pray with me and pray for these officers with this. So that's a much needed prayer shield that I'm hoping to recruit people for. The other way, of course, is the financial backing. Money's needed, and it's just the way it is. I know some people will look at that and say, well, I don't know. But listen, from the time of Abraham on in Scripture, we are taught that we are blessed so that we can bless others. And so I'm asking that people would consider making a tax-deductible contribution to Shield Chaplaincy. And they can do that through our website. Actually, there's a simple link there. They can click on Give, and it will take them to another website that's actually under the umbrella of Parkway House of Prayer Missions Department that is kind of acting as an umbrella for me as I get things started that will allow people to give and to the Shield Chaplaincy. The whole reason I got started with chaplaincy to begin with is I had a friend from high school that after his time in the military became an officer in another department, another part of the state. And after several years on the job, after losing one of his co-workers, he was shot and killed in a traffic stop. And after having his best friend in the department take his own life, and with some of the things that he was involved with personally, he struggled with PTSD. And I walked with him through that time. As he got professional help through the VA and other sources, I was just there as a friend to walk with him through that. And it was really with his encouragement and the help of a former investigator with the Roanoke City Police, Shane Fletcher, who he likes to tell people he hired me for the volunteer position of chaplain. But it was through those two men that God kind of pricked my heart to reach out and to serve these officers. Well, the big thing I would want you to know is that you're not alone. There are people who care. I'd like to think I'm one of those people. I'm here to listen. What we talk about is going to stay with me. And I don't claim to have all the answers. I don't have a bunch of initials after my name. I don't get paid $175 an hour to listen to you. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to listen And if I can help you myself, I'm going to do that. If I feel like there's some things that someone else is better suited to help with, I can certainly give you a list of references of folks you might want to check with. But what you do is tough. The things that you see, they're ugly. And as much as we think, we're just tucking those things away and forgetting about it and it's all good, those things weigh down after a while and they take a toll. And if I can help, that's what I'm here for. It's what I'm dedicating my life to, is to serve you. There is absolutely no charge whatsoever for helping officers. Indeed, that's why I'm raising my own support, really separate from the departments. I'm not receiving money from either Roanoke City Police nor the Roanoke County Police. As far as they're concerned and the officers are concerned, this is a free service. And this is only possible because of various individuals, businesses, churches that see the value in just pouring out into the officers and their families so that they can be encouraged. And basically, it's because we just have a simple belief that if officers are healthy emotionally, if they are healthy spiritually, they're going to do a better job. They're going to feel better about their work, and their home life is going to be more fulfilling as well.